Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 21st episode of Madison and Mountain View. Today we have Jamie from Sneaky Squid LLC here to talk about her company and her latest product, Nova. Good morning, Jamie. Thanks for joining us.
Morning.
So I know a little bit about your product, but I would love to have you tell everyone kind of where the name, first off, Sneaky Squid came from, because that's, not something you hear every day. And then also tell us about Nova.
Absolutely. Okay, so the name Sneaky Squid came about where there's three co-founders, and we had three different ideas for products that we wanted to produce, and we were going out to China to speak to various factories, and we needed business cards to take to China. And so we thought, oh, we need a company name. So the three of us sat around a table, and we really wanted to come up with something unique that no one else had. But just like music bands struggled to come up with something really new as their band name, we had the same issue with our company name. At first we thought, oh, maybe we'll go with like Inventables or something, around invention. But then we thought, no, we're just going to go with something completely obscure, and we came up with Sneaky Squid. So there's no rhyme nor reason. We just wanted something unique.
Well, you are the only Sneaky Squid we've ever heard of, so that's awesome. We love it. Hey, our name has a number in it that doesn't really make any sense. So we love kind of out-of-the-box names.
Mm-hmm. So and it's a conversation piece.
Yeah, it's also, we wanted something that we developed a unique product. We were developing completely new hardware, and we felt that the name had to have the same uniqueness as we feel that our products have.
Awesome. Well, speaking of your products, let's hear about what you're doing with Nova.
Okay. So Nova is the first Bluetooth flash for iPhone. Here it is. This is it. We deliberately developed it to be the size of a credit card, and so that it could fit in your wallet and go everywhere that your iPhone does. So we made it extremely lightweight and extremely thin. Now I will just show you what it does. So when you take a picture, that's what it does. So the reason we invented Nova was because I was trying to take photos of my kids, and whenever we were in any low light conditions or indoors or anywhere where the light wasn't perfect, my photos looked awful. My kids looked like deer in the headlights, they were washed out, and I was missing like really precious memories, and I didn't have them because I couldn't capture them on my iPhone. And so I said to my other two co-founders just before they went to China, wouldn't it be amazing if someone could invent an off-camera flash like professional photographers use, but for iPhone, and make it affordable? And our VP of engineering said, I can do that. He went down to the basement and did some soldering and some tinkering and bought a lot of LEDs, and Nova was born. And it's as simple as that. When we were deciding what technologies to use, there is an off-camera flash called the Kick, but it uses Wi-Fi. And the problem is Wi-Fi is unreliable. We needed something that as soon as you open up the app on the iPhone, you can take a picture. So we decided to go with Bluetooth. The other cool thing about Bluetooth is that it has a really large range. So this can actually work up to 20 feet away from your iPhone.
Wow.
It connects instantly, but also, as well as obviously giving you power over distance, you can also angle and position the light anywhere you want to get the most flattering photo. So in essence, by using Bluetooth and making it really lightweight, we're bringing professional photographic techniques to any iPhone user. And we do all that for $59. So it's a mass market product. It's meant for everyone. And then I'll show you something else. So just on Monday, we launched an update to our app, and I will show you it here. This is my little Nova tree. I've got lots of Novas.
I love that.
Up to 10 Novas on my tree. And what we can now do is you can control up to 10 Novas from one iPhone. So I'll just quickly show you that. Let them just connect, and they get going.
I'm getting rid of my Christmas tree.
So you can now control up to 10 Novas from one iPhone, and you can make them all flash at the same time. But the key thing, and you can control how fast it flashes, and you can have a disco if you wanted. But the reason for doing that was because so that you can eliminate shadow. So while I would say your average photographer or anyone with an iPhone would use one Nova, professional photographers, especially food photographers, would want to use 2 or 3, so they can light from like different angles to completely eliminate shadow, especially if they're doing anything very detailed. They need multiple light sources. Mm. And so that was just released on Monday. And what the advantage that we have over our competitors, because there are other off-camera flashes out there, most of them you have to plug into your phone, so they're not truly off-camera, so they don't actually help you take better photos. The advantages we have is we got a patent over controlling light temperature and light brightness from your iPhone using Bluetooth. And that's why we were really attracted to Apple. So in October, we launched in Apple USA and Canada, in the physical stores and online. And then at the end of December, we were put on the Apple Store homepage. And we're still there. And that's been extremely helpful for us. And we've just launched in Apple Hong Kong.
Wow.
Later this year, we hope to launch in Apple China.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I have a question. It definitely sounds like you are tapping into this big trend, which is kind of the democratization of professional services and professions for the consumer. You're kind of bringing what was previously only available for, you know, thousands of dollars and for professionals to the everyday mom or someone who wants to take pictures of their friends and family. But I know there's a learning curve there, so I would love to use your product, but I don't know exactly how to get rid of shadows or where to hold it. So what are you guys doing, and what do you think companies like yours who do this type of work, bringing these professional services to the masses, should be doing in order to educate and make sure that people are taking full advantage of everything your product can do?
I think that's a really good question. It did take me a while to learn off-camera flash, because for your everyday person, we've not had it before. This is a new product that's been made available to us. So I've worked extremely hard to try and get our blog up and running. Our blog is not something that everyone would visit every day. It's not a community site. It's hints and tips It's inspiration. It's guidance. I wouldn't go so far as to call it education, and that's deliberate. The reason is that off-camera flash and taking great photos is something personal, and it's about expressing what's on the inside. Nova was developed to be an extension of your eye, and it's about you expressing your own creativity. It's not about going into a classroom and someone saying, hold it here, hold it here, hold it here. It's about experimenting. It's about taking 10 photos where previously you might have taken 1 photo. Yeah. So I still do it now. I still say, I try it, and I go, actually, I need to pull back. Actually, it'd be better here. Actually, if I wanted to take a really moody shot, I'll hold it here and hold it here. So it's about learning with Nova, but we do through both our newsletter, which comes out once a month, and our blog, give inspiration. And starting this month, we're starting a Discover page on our website where we take a typical user, not a professional, just an average user. Our first one is a 26-year-old from Chicago. She likes to post on Instagram. She got an Nova Flash, and she's just been experimenting. And she's going to be sharing her photos and her hints and tips and what she's learned on our website.
Awesome.
That's great. So speaking of, you know, people seeing things differently, did you see kind of the whole dress debacle about whether people were seeing white and gold and blue and black? If you had to go back and retake that photo, what would you have done with Nova to make it so that the world wasn't arguing over what was going on?
Well, I think the thing there would be I would take 10 photos instead of 1.
Yeah.
It's you know, we live in an age of digital photography, and anything that you don't want, you just delete. So you just keep taking photos. Another thing is we do work with a lot of professional photographers, and we do iPhoneography workshops, and we do go to Insta meets, and we talk to professional photographers. And they all tell us that when they're at photography school, you get taught that light falls off exponentially. So you get, right, I have to stand here, and I have to have my light source here, and it has to be at a 45-degree angle, and I have to do this, and I have to do this. But Nova has changed all the rules because, yes, you can move back and the light falls off exponentially, but if you are varying the temperature of the light and the color of the light, so say, for example, you decide to go from dim to bright, suddenly all the rules are completely out the window because you can do anything with this. All those rules that people learn about photography and, you know, plugging their flash in and using a big umbrella and having a studio are out the window. So I've found it's not just your everyday user that's learning about how to use light. Professional photographers are learning how to use Nova too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So given that evolution, we focus on the world of brands and startups. I'm curious, you know, what your brand soulmate might be or how you might think Nova aligns with different brands. And personally, I kind of immediately thought, for myself, I'm getting married this summer, and I thought, what a cool thing to have at my wedding for me and my friends to be using throughout the whole week, because I get a photographer for a couple hours, but they always look really staged and cheesy. How cool would it be to have this? And then my next thought was, and how cool if there was a beauty brand or any one of these fashion brands who are going after the wedding market to know about what you're doing and bring this as a service or utility. So what other kind of brands or categories do you think Nova plays really strongly with?
Absolutely, I think you're completely right. So we launched Nova on Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter market is predominantly male, and they are geeky and they see this as a gadget, and they're buying it because it looks cool. And that was the first market we entered, and we knew that they were the early adopters, and we knew we had to market it for them. However, we then launched to retail in June. And as soon as we launched to retail in June, we saw the power that this had in the female market. In particular, it makes women look really good. And one preset on Nova is particularly flattering for women. And there are types of photography that there are different angles and portrait styles that you use for women that you don't use for men. And so I've actually got a professional photographer in LA who's doing a blog post for me on how to capture beautiful photos of women, and he's using Miss Great Britain to model for me, and to do that. And when we were pitching last July for the Christmas gift guides this year, the responses I was getting were for all the female magazines, so your Vogue, Lucky, Self. They really, really picked up on this, much more than the men's magazines did. Some of the men's fashion magazines did, like GQ were very interested in it, and Men's Health, because it was, I realized that by the time we got to this Christmas, it stopped being a geeky gadget, and it started being not just a product to make you look good, but it was a fashion accessory in itself.
Yeah.
And that's the mass market that we're aiming at. The early adopters were great, but they're too small and too narrow a market. And if we want to go mainstream, which is exactly what we want to do, then we definitely need to move into the area where this is something that everyone carries around in your purse, and it excels at parties. You know, it's for low light. It's low light photography. So weddings, parties, evenings, bar mitzvahs, christenings, the whole lot is where this product comes to its own. And the other thing we've been thinking about is, if people are using this at weddings, what do we want to do in terms of multi-packs? Because you don't want just one person to have one. You want your whole group to have, like, you want all the bridesmaids to have one, for example, or the whole wedding party to have one. So we've been investigating what our options are into multi-packs and stuff like that. The other thing that we've learned in terms of, if people are using it at a wedding and they're not professional, just your average consumer, we are looking into ways where you can make it easier to carry it around. Now, men carry it around in their pocket, but women don't have pockets, particularly if they're wearing dresses like they would be at a wedding. Yeah. So we're now investigating ways where you can carry it around on the back of your iPhone and then just take it off when you're ready to take the photo. And when you finish taking the photo, put it back on. And that will make it a lot more accessible to women because women don't have pockets they can put their Nova in.
Yeah,
So,
well, if you need any testers, this July, I'm happy to stuff that thing in a bouquet, slap it on a phone. You've got a tester right here for your blog.
Absolutely.
But there are very different ways that Nova can go at this juncture. So, for example, you know, we could approach, go into the wedding market. We could go into the party market. We could go into the photographic market and pair with someone like Joby tripods or Oliclip lenses. Our business model is very much following the Oliclip business model. And so there are multiple ways we could go. And I don't think we have to plump for one or the other. I think it's just about segmenting our market and saying, right, this is our proposition to this market, this is our proposition to this market, and this is our proposition to this market. And on the research we've done, Nova actually works with Android as well as iPhone, but our profitability study showed that there was more money focusing on iPhone. So all the marketing is focused at iPhone, but that's not true in Asia. So in Asia, we're going to be producing a whole new brand and a whole new packaging for the Android market. It will still be exactly the same product. It will just be the proposition that's different.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking time to chat with us, and look forward to all of the updates.
Oh, could I give you one update now, if that's okay?
Yes,
sure.
Okay, so we are launching another Kickstarter at the end of May for our next product. Our next product is called Nova Pro, and Nova Pro is Nova, but taking it to another level entirely. So I have a 3D print of Nova at the moment. The prototype's still in China, but if this is Nova, this is Nova Pro. It's smaller, but it's also half the thickness.
Oh, wow.
If that is the size of a credit card, and also the thickness of a credit card, so you really can carry it around in your wallet. Nova Pro is going to have an anodized aluminium back just like the iPhone, and it's going to have an on-off button, and it's going to have a host of other features. We're going to be releasing the first page of our teaser website next week, asking people to sign up, and then in about 4 weeks we'll have a full site telling all the features of Nova Pro. But Nova Pro is basically going to look like an iPod Touch.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, we'll be happy to spread the word. Please send us all the information when it launches. We're excited, and I'll definitely be getting one.
Yes. Thank you very much.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.